Today, we are ranking the best icons in FC 25. Welcome back to another episode of Pick 10, and I'm joined by a friend of the channel, second appearance on the year, Ivan Lapanya, Boris legend. Don't call him Ivan. How are you doing, my brother?
It's good. At the moment, it is winter time, Christmas time. It's getting cold outside and inside, getting cozier and cozier. And maybe then a bit more time to play FC, perhaps.
And as for the rules, we have alternating picks. You cannot repeat players, icons only, but there's a bit of a twist. I'm excluding some icons. Ivan, are you good with that?
Big dogs, like the big ones.
Let's make it interesting. No R9, no Ruud Gullit, Ronaldinho, Mia Hamm, Pele. I know that you at home probably can't afford them. Haven't made it happen, myself included. I'm not touching a couple of these individuals. Therefore, I'm just pushing it to the side. I want to make it a little more interesting. We call it keeping it funky.
Can I join you? Just like one thing. I think even players like, even players like Cruyff, right? Even players like, let's say, Eusebio, Zidane. I mean, also they're quite obvious choices, right? But
are you spicing this up a little bit? I think Ivan is excluding some players as well. Let's just set a cap. Under $1 million, let's say 2.5 and some change. Is that fair enough?
And some change, yeah, like 2.83-ish.
Yeah, I'll give the people some leeway. I think a lot of us, if you've been playing the game, you've been able to generate a few million coins. But let's start with the cheap options. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. You get to start as always on the channel. I've got the notepad out and ready. For the cheap options, who is your first selection?
First out, we have one of my big favorites this year so far, and it's Fernando Hierro. He was out like last week, Thunderstruck, amazing item. He was live and received a big boost by EA, a +1 rating. And as well, what was crazy, he got 2 new playstyles, and both the 2 most meta at the back, Intercept and Anticipate. And he is so good. It has a plus booster, 90 for defending. And he's only 348,000 coins. S tier.
And likely to get cheaper for being all the way transparent. Doesn't have the same hype or the same notoriety or name amongst the icons. And I like his previous item as well. Just going on record, we have been a fan on this channel. I'm actually going to lean into an SBC, and he's right at $1 million coins, but it's SBC pricing. And this will also eliminate that Cruyff you already teased. We're going to go with the mini Cruyff, B tier Cruyff. The 88 overall Cruyff, and he's right around $1 million.
Yeah, the Cruyff from Temu, the cheap one, on this day it's called, right? Maybe the pace a bit underwhelming, might be maybe outdated soon, but he has the Cruyff aura, and also could be maybe fit in potential future evolutions as well.
We don't know what they're going to do with some of the icon evolutions. I always like that he had tiki-taka, and that's not something that your strikers or attacking midfielders frequently have. And we all know this year is a real struggle with passing, and it gives you much better consistency. You can move the ball a little quicker.
Yeah, I'll probably say it is this year the most important playstyle.
Ooh.
I say that. Number 1. So yeah, I think Cruyff, even though he's a bit pricey, still a good choice. And I think, you know what, man? People spend so much money on these casino SPCs, right? Like base icon upgrade, they spend like almost $500,000 each without blinking. Now that is bad value, but Cruyff for like around $1 million is okay, right?
I would assume that he'll last at least 3 months. That's where I'm at. Either way, 3 months for $1 million coins, I'm not mad at it. At least from an SBC perspective. Trade in all your 5.
That's fair. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna go now cheap as well. Like if you don't have so much coins, maybe just start playing. But you have then a good choice in Hernan Crespo.
Wow.
What do you say?
Okay.
What do you say?
I mean, I'd love for him to rerun the years. He's better than his previous items, but I still thought that he was missing, like you said, maybe that aura. For me, he could finish. He still had the one-on-one scenario, but I just think there's better icons. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but this is like really good value. Comes in for 149,000 coins. He has every plus role as a striker. Finishing is 93. I mean, quite top stats for not so much coins, right? It's decent.
No, fair enough. It's weird now with my choices because I got a lot of players that are knocking on the door right at $1 million.
Bring it.
Okay, I'll bring it. If we're going up front, I got to challenge your Crespo. I'm going to go with my favorite Frenchman, Eric Cantona. He's down to $1 million, maybe just a tad bit of extra sprinkling or extra seasoning on top. But the physicality, the skill moves, you can play him as a singular striker. You can play him amongst other players. Still has that creativity, that ingenuity, that physicality, a little bit of brilliance when necessary. Have I built him up well enough?
Yeah, but this is a bit of a reach, right? Because he's above 1 mil. But yeah, Cantona this year, amazing. And also has one of the most meta playstyles, Power Shot. If you know how to handle this type of shot, it is going to be getting you plenty of nice goals. And yeah, he has the power, the size, skill moves, top choice. I had Cantona Ashley on my +1 mil list.
Ah, okay.
That's why I was, a bit concerned, but fair play. All right, we have next up around half the price, but we stay in France. And we have still tiki-taka playstyles. We have Abili. Camille Abili, great choice. The price is quite fair, half mil, she has 90 passing, great dribbling, and mainly the passing ability. 90 passing and tiki-taka plus, I mean, amazing.
I like how everything you have includes value. Maybe I need to backtrack and get back to the value train, because we got to talk to the people right. And if you're going to go with a lady in the midfield, I'll do the same. We have the upgraded with Julie Foudy, the American.
Good choice.
It's kind of a similar item. You can pick and choose who you prefer, but in terms of what you're getting, relatively similar packaging.
Nice choice as a box-to-box center mid. But we're gonna go back now to the defense. And one of my favorites.
Okay.
Every year I love him. Even back in like FIFA 17, I played him as CDM. You know who? French. He's now center back. Guess. Just once.
Laurent Blanc.
Yeah, that's the man. And he has, speaking of aura, he has these legs with a great reach, reaching every ball, and has also playstyle plus, raccoon, anticipate plus. I think like every year he's fairly cheap, but top level.
And I'm going to stay away from the defense, but I'm going to go with one of my favorite icons that is completely underrated, overlooked, disrespected. Crossy would never. We've gone with Stoichkov. And I truly believe in this man. Even with the 3-star weak foot, can finish. You can play him out wide. I like him in a lot of different attacking roles. Basically, anywhere in the attack, it's going to be a good look for you. I can't say anything but positives and superlatives around Stoichkov.
Good item, but maybe the weak foot 3-star could be sometimes an issue, perhaps. But as like a central striker, I think that could be an issue. If you just have like, let's say you play a 4-for-1-1 perhaps, then maybe not the best choice, but as a left striker, top notch.
And coming well in under the budget. I'm trying to keep myself, straight edge. I don't want to be too gray area with Ivan, because we've got a list of a lot of guys. I'm telling you, there's so many players that actually come in the 900,000 to about 1.2 million category as it stands, as we're recording.
We have a base icon that I think still does it, that is not yet outdated, definitely not. And that she had a very nice SBC last year that was praised during Toti. From Japan, we have Homaware Sava. I think she's really good. I mean, the finishing is 92. That's crazy. That's like a striker. Top striker finishing. She has 91 dribbling, 86 stand tackle, and some great stamina. She can run 90 minutes extra time, overtime, interviews, etc. She'll be there the entire day.
No, absolutely. And I will say this, Sawa last year with that SBC, I still think is better than this current version of Sawa, but that SBC also came out a little later in the year. We wouldn't have had access to her. And her baseline has been really impressive. I went up against her 3 or 4 different times over the course of the weekend and some division rivals in the last 2 days. She did what you would expect, and then maybe a little extracurricular. I see a trend here. You like the women in the midfield. I'm playing no defense apparently with my team. We've got another attacker. I'm going with Georgie Best, my favorite bowl cut that you can get access to. Currently, 975,000 coins. Please double check. Please double check. I need confirmation from you.
All right, fair. Just fits in. Well done.
My side has no defense. We are just going to score goals. You've got a little more balance between having actually upfront options and also different price points, which I respect. But that wraps up our under 1 million. Now we're going to move into the high rollers, but we have capped this out with a flexible 2.5 to maybe 3 million coins, correct?
That's right. And we have first out a fresh item that has almost doubled in price, but that is still quite, I think, price worthy. And got a very nice upgrade as well. English striker, Kelly Smith.
Fantastic.
Yeah. She was also used, I think, last tournament by Tex. Finesse plus playstyle. Faster weak foot, great movement. She has 91 dribbling. And yeah, I think she is probably also still live as well. So she could get upgrades. Value for this one is great. I love value.
I'm changing my approach, Ivan. I think I'm just going to come to match your choices in terms of the value. But her upgrade was huge because she has the 5-star weak foot. She's a lefty, and now she has a finesse shot plus as a trait or as the play style.
Amazing.
I'm going with one of my favorite players in real life, and this is his best version that he's ever had. I've got the new upgraded Kaká. And with his body type, he typically didn't work. But as EA added in rapid and these different play styles, he started moving a little bit better. Made the game look easy, reminded me of his Ballon d'Or winning season, as you can probably tell, I'm definitely a fan of Kaká.
And he also has the playstyle basic tiki-taka.
I'm glad you brought up tiki-taka. Just for everyone at home, if you get tiki-taka even as a white playstyle, it makes a massive difference with the passing. So even if it's not a playstyle plus, just having it in any capacity changes some of the passing for ground passes in particular.
We have next up, I'm going to take a player from his generation, which I think was actually backed and destroyed by him. But he was still a top center back, and we have Rio Ferdinand, that I think is a top 5 center back in the game. Maybe getting slightly now dropping down because we have, as we mentioned, plenty of new promos coming out, but still fantastic. And I think he's one of these icons that always perform above rating. In game, he is gonna be a true monster.
I'd agree with that. Rio always goes a little bit above and beyond. Sometimes you pay a premium on his item because people know that, and you've got the English Premier League, a lot of history, maybe an English tax, so to speak. I'm not gonna help myself with my choice because I want to match you with a center back, but the clear cut, and I'm just happy about it. The best to ever do it, Maldini, with an upgrade and finally with a real play style. If you remember, he used to have,
slide icon,
which is such a waste. Now he's got Jockey Plus, and if you guys manually defend, I feel that Jockey Plus helps tremendously, especially with bigger players. You get more responsiveness, they turn a lot faster, and maybe it doesn't come into play if you're not doing the defending, if you're more of an AI animation guy. I'm not judging, not today, but if you actually move the player a lot, you get some perks, you get some benefits.
Which I think, like, for him, the issue is always like his physicality. He's usually like his base icon is a bit weak sometimes. This one, I think, adds a +3 physicality, which is a massive boost.
He's also doubling the price, maybe, and then some compared to your Rio Ferdinand. We can put that on the board.
Rolls Royce. And speaking of Rolls Royce, and we have now cams, and we have the man from Brazil, Zico. Zico, this was out also last week. I think also he's still live and could get upgrades. He's connected with Udinese though, so maybe tricky. Great dribbling, great shooting, great passing, and has playstyle, as I love so much, which you have heard by now. Tiki-taka, basic, lovely.
I like that choice a lot. I think the obvious maybe 1-2 punch here is the Englishman Bobby Charlton. Underrated in many ways. I don't necessarily see him enough. We have seen him in the pro scene. I think he could do it all.
I think for him the only issue is positioning, because he can play only cam, and that's obviously this year quite a big thing. A big aspect is roles, and being limited into only playing as a cam. You have plenty of good choices, but when it comes to the stats and the shooting, he is one of the best. Probably continue on the same path with broken players, and we have then, as I love to call him, Didier Drogba, which is used by many pro players because he's great at breaking the game, the power shots and the headers. Even though I see now for the latest live tuning was out this day today, so probably a bit nerfed, but still will be amazing. Has the power shots, which we mentioned are so good if you know how to use them. He has the finishing, the jumping, and as they say, the aura.
Absolutely crushes me. I wish I was better at using and abusing with Drogba. I've talked about this on the channel where it's not that I don't rate him, I just don't maximize him. But when I go up against him, he terrorizes me. If you ever watch DBZ, when you're going Super Saiyan, that's how Drogba comes to play against me every time. I get Champions League Drogba, guaranteed. Chelsea Drogba, you know the guy.
Clutch.
Where are you capping me out on budget? I need a hard, firm budget on before I give you my response.
Well, we said around 2.5 mil plus exchange, so I will go up to like 3 mil or something.
3 mil is the max out.
Around 3, so let me guess. Mateus.
Yeah, Lothar gotta be there. He's right at 3. But I mean, this is quite an item. He's got the upgrade now with the skill moves. I mean, you've got stats in every single location. You name it, it's there. You want it, he arrives. Rigid as can be, and I'm saying that as a positive, and he comes with the power shot plus. This is the best offensive version we've also seen of Lothar. And I would say that's always been the critique, is that maybe he's a little stiff. You get someone that's in the midfield and he can do the job, but doesn't always have those extra versatile traits and characteristics. And this item feels different.
Yeah, I think great choice, but we talk about playstyles, importance of playstyles. He has no passing playstyles. What about that?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not here to take that off the picture. I think he's a player that goes against the grain with some of the play styles.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is he just outperforms. There's certain players that are like that. For example, if you gave me Ruud Gullit without a play style, it doesn't matter. It's Ruud Gullit.
They have their own like body type and their own animations and stuff, which gives them a bit extra stats, a bit bonuses.
It just depends what you're looking for in your midfield. But you are spending a premium, top of the budget here. I'm not taking that away from the pitcher. There might be someone that fits better for you.
Yeah, I could just say, like, if I packed him, I wouldn't cry, right? Definitely, definitely top choice. But yeah, we have now a bit cheaper though. I mean, still expensive, but Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o with double U. I think great this year. He has a pace and a playstyle quick step plus, which if you know how to use speed boost with L1, it is massive. And as well, guess what? He has a rare playstyle, tiki-taka as well.
We're seeing a trend when it comes to the playstyles of choice. They matter that much, but I like your last choice. Eto'o makes me uncomfortable. I don't like going up against him. I'd almost consider him more of a through ball merchant, but he is dangerous and deadly with it. You've gone with some of your, let's say, fan favorites, personal choices. I'd like to add one in. He doesn't get any love. I don't know why. I think that he's an absolute monster on the virtual pitch. I'm going with Butragueño, the Spaniard, with the 5-star weak-footed, some of the most responsive left stick dribbling. And again, if you're good with the stop and goes, some of the speed boost, you'll be able to create moments and separation. And I'm scoring from outside the box, no problem. And I just wanted to give him a shout out.
I like it. I liked it because I packed him actually last week. Butragueño! Butragueño! I surprised him! I surprised him! So I have plenty of Butragueño experience.
And
I think after his latest live tuning, he's gonna be amazing because his left stick and especially control sprint is one of the best in the game, and he also scores for fun with 94 finishing, 5-star weak foot. He has 2 issues. The first one is his skill moves, 3-star, a bit limited, and physicality. The strength is only 62. Besides that, I think he is amazing, and as you say as well, he has always been a little bit underrated, I say.
I will say this, a lot of people make the case for the skill moves, but so many people don't use 4- or 5-star skill moves. Not saying I don't. I'm using them. I'm introducing them. It's an adjustment for me, and I just like using them. I really think that Butragueño is kind of special, but it's something to look in the mirror. You have to have that conversation because a lot of you don't use a bunch of Berba spins or cancellations. I don't see rainbow flicks out of you.
Yeah, and also like the thing is that you get a huge discount also. A huge discount because he is 5'3". Like if he was 5'4" or something like this, even 5'5", the price would be, of course, at least double.
And I like our choices here. We've got a mix of value. We've got some cheap options. We got plenty of expensive. Before we get out of here, any players that we left off? We ran out of spots. It could be expensive. It could be cheap.
I think, we have a cheap one, which I like, is Laudrup. I had him, I think he was out during,
Trickster.
was that? Yeah, Trickster. As a cam, amazing. At the moment, 100,000 coins and has 5'4", fantastic movement. Trickster is very powerful. Top choice.
He also has 90 passing, just out of nowhere. This is the best he's ever been.
And I have one more actually that I think we should, maybe he was up there. Ribéry, that I think is always great. I mean, the dribbling is premium. Same as for Butragueño, a bit weak. And he has as well Tech Plus playstyle for the R1 dribbling. He has quick step, basic. I think a bit pricey, but definitely one of the best icons.
Yeah, if we're going the cheap route, neither of us talked about your Swedish counterpart. We have Lotta.
Lotta what? Lotta, last name is what?
Schellin?
Lotta Schelin.
No, I messed that up. Okay.
Yeah, it's though quite soft, like, you know, Lotta Schelin.
I like Lotta because I was saying she scores a lot of goals. I also think Henry is good, solid. You can use him for sure. I just didn't necessarily get a chance to break him into our expensive options. I think Gareth Bale, you're overpaying.
Yeah,
with the 3-star weak foot. You're paying for the name brand. Let us know in the comments which icons you've been using, which players maybe we left off. Let us know who made better choices. And if you're not following Ivan already, I will link everything down below, whether it's the YouTubes or it's live stream, you name it, it'll be there. And I really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you so much. As always, a massive honor, and hopefully I can come back soon again. Thank you.
Always welcome on the channel, and we'll have a lot more coming out ASAP.